So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted the theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. CrazyCatLady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair educational for and entertainment purpose. It's like it's all they did. Well, those years ago. See? No, I don't want to do any more of it.
Alright. Hi everyone, Martha here. It took me about, I don't know, like 3 days to watch this on our thing because I'm kind of busy I've been, but I finished it. I think if I wasn't busy, I probably would finish this in one day. And I wanted somebody to watch it with me, but they want to watch something else. So here we go. Goosebumps time. I found this so weird that this is the month that aired. January of all months. It makes more, since this is supposed to be horror stuff, it makes more sense to be like either September, August, or October, or November. Those 4 months. It doesn't make sense for it to be right after Christmas to me, but okay. I think this most because they had nothing airing during really that much on Disney Plus. That's why they have it do it here. Now, there's like no hint of last season of Goosebumps in this season. Like Slappy's season, it didn't even happen because this little bit is like the like how the episodes used to be. Had like every single story be their own story, and these guys had nothing to do with the last season. I thought at the very end of the series they would have some hint into it, but apparently not. Even the little teaser at the very end of the season had nothing to do with him. I thought they would have him be the one that is behind it all, but they actually did it. They did a whole entire season of no Slappy being referenced, period. And I'm also happy and now a little bit disappointed because this season's not as good as last season because of the ones they made the bad guys. They made basically aliens the bad guys in this. So there was nobody going wah basically and having a monologue. And so I really prefer it that way instead of having some weird ominous thing being the bad guy. So yeah. The books they covered on this was Don't Go Down to the Basement, Monster Blood, The Haunting Dog, Haunting Car, and let me look up to see what the episodes were called. The Boy Who Cried Monster, and The Girl Next Door is the other ones I remember. But there was 8 episodes. I think after episode 5 they had their own stories, so let me see if there's actually ones that are also named after. Alright, so let's see, we have Monster. Okay, so we have the first episode's about Stay Out of the Basement, so it's a 2-parter. The Haunted Car is episode 3, Monster Blood's episode 4, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, The Girl Next Door, Welcome to Camp Nightmare, and it looks like episode 8 does not have a name. It's just called episode 8. How original. So yeah, I think up to episode 8 it was actually finishing the last bit of the story. So yeah. Now I never read any of these books. I do remember that Stay Out of the Basement was one of the shows from there. Was from the one that was on Nickelodeon. And I would say whatever number from that episode was that the daughter was a daughter of a botanist, just like in this show, just like in the series was. There was only one of them. There was no brother. By the end of it, the dad ends up eating the plants, and he comes the plants, and he tries to get the daughter to eat the plant, but she doesn't. She ends up killing. There's 2 of them there, and so she kills one of them, and she thinks that her dad is safe. And when she comes out of the basement thinking that everything is fine, there are these flowers keep on saying, "Hi, Cece or whatever her name is in the book or in the show, and all the flowers are like saying, "I'm dad, I'm dad, I'm dad." So that's how that one ends. Monster Blood. If they made an episode of that one, I don't remember any of it. Same exact thing with the other ones. The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Okay, so the rest of them, I'm going to reference other things that remind me of. So the Boy Who Cried Wolf reminds me of the Boy Who Cried, Boy Who Cried Monster, the Boy Who Cried Wolf. That's what that one reminds me of. So when you tell stories and then you're telling the truth and nobody believes you, basically, that's what that reminds me of. Monster Blood, it kind of reminds me of Stranger Things, and Haunted Car reminds you of Christine. Girl Next Door, I would say, I do remember something that did Camp Nightmare, where it ended weird. Because you were at a camp. There's a lot of camp episodes, because for some reason R.L. Stine loved camp stuff, and so basically I remember at the end of that episode, or one of the camp episodes, that it was all like an act, and they were trying to get them to go on a spaceship. So that's where they probably got the spaceship part from. So what happened? So now that I got all the stuff that I can think of that remind me of these episodes, let's actually get started on what's going on in these episodes. I'll get up when you look up the characters' names. Okay, so we got Anthony, who is the dad. We got Alex, who is the criminal. We got Cece, who's like to go to debate camp. So I would say she's like wants to be a lawyer. Devin is still the science. JC, who is the jokester, but who probably should be getting in trouble with his mom. Frankie, who is dating Trey, and Trey is mostly the bully of the group. And there's also Jan. She is the cop. Let me put down character names. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have Trey up here. I mean, but okay. And like this is like the first time they ever did Goosebumps, and they never really had like references to R.L. Stine. Like at least in the last season, he recorded something for it, but this time he didn't do that. I don't know why he didn't do it this time. Was he sick or something? I do really wish they would have him like reference, but the show starts off just like kind of like the last season did. We had a flashback to the 90s. The 90s is the new 80s, apparently, I guess, where everything is like those are not the same decade. They're not the same, but okay, because I actually lived for one. But whatever, you want to make them the new 80s, fine. And we have this group of kids named Maddie and Jen and Anthony, who are going down into like a fort where they're not supposed to go. One thing I did not like is that they had no way of they did not tell you how these kids learned about this fort. I mean, they kind of like they did say Hannah that there was an old-fashioned campground out there that was back in the 1968. All these people were supposed to keep this secret. They trapped I think around like episode 7 or episode 6. The camp counselor got trapped down there first, and they went and 5 people went to test it. All but one, the daughter of the professor, got out, and she's the one that's been keeping nobody from finding out about it since then. But if she's trying to keep it secret from everybody in the world finding about it, then how did everybody else find out about it? Made me a little bit confused. Okay, she's trying to keep it secret. How did some random teenagers find out about it? I don't know, since that building's still there, that might be why. I just wish they were a little bit more were explaining more about it. The dad, who is the brother of one of the kids who went down there, he is now an adult because he's when they were teenagers. So these kids are a little bit older than me, but not by much, because I was not a teenager during the 90s. I was born a year before the 90s started, so I was pretty young, because this the flashback took place 1994. So he is now a botanist because he likes studying plants, and he is the one that's representative of the dad who don't go down the basement. And I would say Cece's has to do like some is the daughter, and they wanted to make Devin be the one from the Boy Next Door or Camp Nightmare or something like that. And Maddie is the one who like starts a fire, who done a couple bad things in her life, and who's a daughter of a cop, Jen, who was the ex-girlfriend to Maddie. And we have Trey, who is lives across the street from Anthony and his kids. Cece and Devin only come down for the summertime, so that's why they don't used to go down to the school. They don't know these kids. And we also got Frankie, who already knew Devin and Cece, and she's now dating Trey, and Trey's now jealous and wants to make Devin like do something he shouldn't, and dares him to go down to where his uncle disappeared, and goes down there, and Trey like starts hitting it's a transformer thing, and makes it go off and turns on, and has like the little space thing on the space holes open, because they're standing on top of a UFO basically, and that lowers down, and that sprays him just like it did his uncle. But I'm guessing it didn't spray him that much, because it didn't go down there right away and come up hard like his uncle did, and so he goes back up there and kind of leads it to his back to his house, and his dad finally got a coat back from Maddie, and he puts something that was on his brother's shirt onto a bottle, and then it got the plants in his basement touches it and start to get put up in there, and then Cece, when she's go to her camp that she said she did not get into, the plant, while he tries to run away, the plants grab him and like carry him under there and like spray him, and then Trey goes down there to him because Anthony keeps on getting mad at him that parking on his lawn. And so he like breaks his window. His dad, he says, "My dad's gonna kill me," because this really is his dad's car. Eventually, he goes down to the basement. Trey does, to break his stuff, but the little thing that was inside of Anthony's arm, because the plant got inside of Anthony's arm, and Anthony pulled it out and like got it off, and found out it was actually somebody like a meat plant, and he's like talking to the professor's daughter, and she count her as a bad guy, because I don't really count her as a bad guy, because she was trying to stop. I still think there's not really a bad guy in here unless you count the aliens, because it's just like no human bad guy. They're just all trying to basically to stop from this aliens' spread. So yeah. So he contacted her in order to get, and she tells him it's a carnivore, and so he like feeds a dead mouse to her, feeds the dead mouse to the plant, but then the plant ends up eating Trey, and he goes out of there he tries to grabs Frankie, and Devin tries to save Frankie so she doesn't end up like him. I would say really this only has like 2 scary scenes in this whole entire season, and that is the very beginning of it. It's where Maddie turns into clay, and I would also say what happens to Trey is kind of scary, because he looks like a big giant meat muffet guy, and they like slam his car on top of him, and that's how Monster, the haunted car, starts. And the next episode ends up with having Alex get taken by that way, and we ended up finding why she went to juvie, and she went to juvie because she brought rockets inside, and firecrackers in there, and some other kid decides to have a stupid challenge where you tie your tape, use duct tape and tape it around your wrist, and and hold it and see if you can unduct tape it while the dumb thing's lit. Idiots! Now, I think she is just as much as guilty as the kid that she got in trouble, that actually had her take the fall because he ran away before, and she stayed around because she was, and she didn't get a fault for it, and she didn't was afraid to tell her mom about it, and so, but they're both to be at fault. They're both to be being punished for what happened, not just her. And she just got out juvie, and now she's on probation. Has to do community service and wear an ankle monitor. And she has to, and her curfew is at 10 o'clock. So she goes out to try to find a way to get this other kid punished for since he didn't get punished for what she did. And she uses Trey's car, steals Trey's car to go after him. She says she's borrowing it, and she asks Cece to help her because while she was in there in the pharmacy grabbing some stuff, the pharmacy lady was accusing her of stealing stuff, and while that was happening, Cece grabbed makeup and stole some of it, and she saw her do it and recorded it, and she stole the lip gloss or something like that, or like some eye shade from her. She was threatening her, blackmailing her, making her come with her so she can go and talk to him, make him come outside. But it didn't work because she looked it up and see that that she should definitely be going back to juvie for it, and she can call the number. But she had I don't know if she actually did it or she was just lying about it. But she actually called them. But yeah, and she ends up leaving to go to her camp that she's pretending to go to, and Alex almost gets killed because the car drives her off, and then this is when Anthony, who Jen and Anthony are looking for Trey, because Anthony wants to get Trey in trouble for what he did to his basement, and Jen is helping him, and so they're looking around for Trey, but they don't find Trey because until the very end of the episode, when Anthony goes down to where his brother was at and finds Trey naked. So he puts something. We don't really see anything, but we know he's naked because he puts a towel over him and helps him get out that way. And so now we're on episode 4. Monster Blood, where Cece ends up having like a big old blob chasing her, and after she drinks her tea, because some of it got inside of her teacup, and so when she had tea and drank it, it got inside of her system and interrupted her during her interview, and that's when the blob started chasing her because it wants to have her and make her part of the group. And so, but eventually, after that happens, they find Jen brings out a tape that she made for to show to Anthony, and because she wanted to hide it because the last thing she said to Trey, said Maddie before he disappeared. And so that episode ends with Devin going to meet Hannah because since he has still some of the blood, the blob thing in his system, and he can see Hannah still, and she's trying to lure him to go down back to Camp Nightmare. And so, but eventually he gets away from her, and they want to go watch the tape at their grandma's house, who has dementia, and who keeps wanting to see her son, who's now who is declared dead. And she did smell when she met her grandson. She did say, "You smell like Maddie," because they had the same exact thing, as both of them were in the same exact place where he disappeared. We also had Monster Cry, where CC ends up having CJ almost being captured by Anthony, because now Anthony has it in his system when he went down there to go and get Trey, because a hole ripped and it got inside of his system that way, and it was trying to get CJ. There's too many characters, too many similar names. Okay, CJ, who was delivering food to him, and he was trying to get him to lure it down there, And one of the Devin, I think, cut. This is the part that was most weird to me because it was mostly like a joke when they did this. Okay, because they had his head cut off, and then they had his disembodied head talking back to them like that. I know this is supposed to be horror, but that does not make any sense. It felt like I was watching It, the one that came back from, was on during the 80s with Tim Curry, and that whole entire thing of the refrigerator was talking back to them. The head in the refrigerator was talking back to them. That's what that reminded me of. That was this. Like, what is this? This is not scary. This is funny. And when they the daughter of the professor started melting the blood on there and had to do with every single part his body parts, how is Anthony not dead? How? So, and then he ends up being part of the pods, and both, so the kids want to go back and save Anthony and get him out of there. So, because now they really don't have their dad there anymore. And so they go down there to do that. The professor's daughter ends up trapping them down there because she was afraid after they went down there to go and save them. And it gave them a shot for an hour. And they go down there to save their dad and shoot them. And now they're trapped down there. And the way they get back up there, we're in episode 8 now, is by having them do basically what Trey did, but they had to do it in reverse and do it down from down there. And they get out that way. But since Anthony's brother is still down there, he wants to save his brother. And so he saves the brother and his friends. And so did the daughter, did the same thing for her dad. But since they were down there for 30, 50 years for the dad, it's too late for them. It's not too late for Anthony and Trey, because they weren't only down there for a day. So what happened to them did not affect them yet. That affected the others. And so they eventually turned into aliens that look very close to the monsters from Stranger Things. And they start attacking them. I did like the fact that they referenced E.T. and Hamlet. I didn't find that funny because they didn't want to tell anybody, because they didn't want Maddie, for the little bit of time they get to have them here. It takes a whole day for them to get affected. Well, for the dad, the professor, he turned right away because how long he was in there. When they go down there to talk to her, because they had to figure out how to deal with these kids who were only there for a day or something like that. After that, they end up having all the kids up down there, and so it's up Jen and Anthony to save the kids before they end up the ones who took them. And so they decide to have released the UFO, and so everybody who's been down there too long goes with the aliens, and it ends up with the show ends with Cece going back to her mom's, but Devin staying down there because he likes stay down with his dad, and they're driving home to take Cece back home. And Cece and Alex are ending together. I forgot to mention that, but I didn't think that was that big a deal. It's not that big of the story, a part of it. And it's with Devin barfing part of the blood, because I guess he had it but for some reason that's how it ends. Since it's Goosebumps, there always has to be a twist at the very end. So I don't know. We'll find out if they're gonna go back to doing the Slappy season next season, or do this one, or do another story. So we'll see. I really did. No, I did not like this one as much as last season, like I said. So I'm probably gonna get a lower score. I'm probably gonna give this one a 7.5. So I'll see you guys later. Favorite, and subscribe. Viewers beware. You're in for a scare. Bye bye.